I was missing stuff.
All right, people. Wednesday edition of WWT Live. This is your timeless elite, your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this Wednesday edition. Because if you're like me in the East Coast, I'm stuck in snow. I got a lot of snow happening. So we be getting more snow tomorrow. So your timeless elite is here to give you dynamite, what happened on Monday, last night on NXT, and also news happening around the world of wrestling. But thankfully, I'm not alone. I'm happy to have one of our constituents joining us. Our councilman, Will Farrow, is in the building. How are you today on this Wednesday?
I am not in snow, so I am doing wonderful right now. It is a lustrous 74 degrees where I am located. So I will absorb the sun for you since you can't go outside. I'm gonna go outside for everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but like you said, we got a lot to talk about on today's episode.
Yes, but first things first, before we jump in, we do want to give a shout out to a friend on WWT Live. We've been talking about her for the last couple months, Denise Salcedo. She announced on her socials that she renewed for Busted Open Radio for another year. She's been killing it with interviews. Make sure to check out her interview that she dropped today on Tatum Paxley. And also with the fact, too, she does do shows on Thursdays after TNA and also does a show on Saturday on behalf of Busted Open. But here at WWT, we do want to give congratulations to her. And hopefully we can get her on WWT Live soon.
I don't know why. I don't know why she ain't been on. It's actually weird.
Yes. But do want to give a congratulations. Yes, that is another thing too. We've been trying to get Denise on there. We would love to have her on WWT Live. We would love to have her on the Kayfabe podcast because she is definitely a person that has been killing it. And you know, after the 2K26 event last week, she's been interviewing almost everybody from the roster. But she is definitely killing it. And if you are in LA, and if you're there during AEW Revolution, she has a show the night before. So if you're not busy and if you're not doing anything, go ahead and support her. And she's going to have Willow Nightingale be one of her special guests.
Tickets are not that bad, y'all. Not at all. And there's some. I've heard there's some. They're pretty good shows. Like, not saying that just because we support her here, but like I've heard nothing but like good things on like the shows that they put together. Man, it really feels like you're there in the community, whereas AEW, WWE, you don't really feel like that divide or anything like that. Like it's all like good energy there.
She is. So I definitely want to give a congratulations to her for everything that she's done. Kudos to Denise. Definitely congratulations. But we're not going to shift gears because, well, we kind of knew what happened on Raw because we knew AJ Styles had his retirement match. And, well, I don't want to get in too deep because I know you guys are going to talk about this tomorrow during kayfabe. But if you watch the end of the program, we now know AJ Styles will be going to the WWE Hall of Fame 2026. The Undertaker made a surprise towards the end of Raw. So next to Stephanie McMahon, AJ Styles will be the next person in line. And Will, I just want to get your quick thoughts on this. I know you guys are going to talk about this in kayfabe tomorrow, deep dive, but just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this. And was this the right choice to have the phenomenal one be in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. And I'm not gonna dive too into it, but just I don't know. Like, yes, but I also got questions. Like, I'm not upset about it or nothing like that. Like, it's well deserved. AJ Styles has freaking blessed the world with wrestling. And like, I mean, like all around the world has blessed everyone with his gifts. My only thing that I have a question about is if there's a line of people that we have been thinking about who should go in this year's Hall of Fame. Do we feel like AJ skipped? Why was this so fast all of a sudden? And who's the headliner in this? Is it him or Stephanie?
You would think it would be Stephanie.
A lot of, I mean, some would think it might be AJ.
Mm.
A lot of questions to be had about it. But still, nonetheless, though, congratulations to AJ Styles for being put into the WWE class of 2026 Hall of Fame. Is it earned? Absolutely. Is it deserving? I mean, there's no debate about it. But there is a debate about the motion and how this went on. Because then it also goes, why are we doing this so quickly with him? Like, what's about to happen? Like, is he like legit, like fully walking away? Like, is he done with everything? Like, what's happening? Like, this feels all kind of fast.
I think there is a lot of layers to this because it really didn't come as a surprise because I know Atlanta is his hometown. He's done a lot during his tenure in WWE and all over the world. And also with the fact, too, you understand like how Stephanie got announced at WrestlePalooza last year. Because normally during the Hall of Fame, they would announce it around before WrestleMania. And I think it depends if it's like in March, probably in January or February. But since it's in April, they would probably do like either January, February, or even early March. So it's very interesting on how this is going to play out. And also with the fact, too, if John's not in it this year, that could be raising a lot of questions.
That's what I'm just like, again, that's why I say it sparks debate. It's not controversial, but it is like you have a lot of questions when it comes to this decision. And it's like, okay, like what pieces are we missing as to why this is happening at the speed it's happening? Again, not a bad thing. And I don't want it to ever feel like that's what I'm saying about him, because it's not at all. Like I have no objections of him going. But I do got questions. And we'll answer those more tomorrow on the Kayfabe podcast.
There is a lot of questions. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debate, but he is well deserved. He's the only wrestler to actually get the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and the WWE Championship. I mean, need I say more?
And before anybody say nothing, AEW wasn't around, so no, he don't need that world title for it to be complete. He did all this before AEW sparked. So yeah, like we said, that man been a champion everywhere. Like AEW knew, don't. So anybody that want to try to throw that little out there, nah, that's a new league that don't count.
And I'm gonna say this: you need to watch his TNA run because it was incredible. Man. I mean, come on. He was one of the franchise players next to Frankie Kazarian that helped shift TNA to what it is.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a reason why people would have loved to see him and Shawn Michaels go. And you see a lot of that in them. Like both of them are like world-class showmen in the ring. And they got the charisma, they got the spark. But like you said, his TNA days, if you enjoyed WWE or if you're like, very much into wrestling and you watched him during his Bullet Club phase, like those were great. But that TNA run,
yeah,
man, that's a whole era in itself.
Mm-hmm. You can't deny that. But like I said, if you're not busy tomorrow night, feel free to watch the Kayfabe podcast where Will, Honey, and Dion will be talking more about this tomorrow. They'll be taking a little bit of a deep dive on this, but sending congratulations to AJ Styles on this accomplishment. Since you brought up Shawn Michaels, we got to talk a little bit about NXT. Now, normally I'm not going to talk about NXT, and no, I'm not talking about Miles Bourne, but I'm talking about the other thing that happened with the ladies. And well, a picture is worth 1,000 words to share.
I'm so glad Honey ain't here. I'm so glad Honey cannot pop in and talk shit about this. I'm gonna have to hear this tomorrow for like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Like I hope she sprained her cheek from smiling so hard because I know she gonna be doing it when she on there. I hope she spraying her teeth. Um, felt weird. Felt weird. I'm gonna dive more into it. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a fan of the execution. Not a fan of the execution. Again, I'll dive more into it tomorrow because this is going to be one of our heavy topics to
Mhm.
go over. But the whole Tuesday episode of NXT was very shaky for me,
Mhm.
and I can leave it. And I can leave it at that. But we all saw it coming. We all saw it coming. Um, what does this do for Soul? Where does this leave Soul? Like we know we've heard talks about her being called up, supposedly getting new music, the whole shebang and stuff. So it's like, is this like what's the next phase for her? Because we understand what the next phase for Zara is, but again, a lot of questions to be answered. But yeah, man, it was bound to happen, and it did.
It
The
was
deal is no more.
it was an interesting episode because I watched it today. It was very interesting how certain parts were for it. It did feel a few matches were a bit rushed, but it's going to be very interesting, and especially because I know Solbrook has been a fan favorite since she's been in NXT. All the fans love her because of her personality, her charisma, the moves that she does in the ring. But it's going to be very interesting how this is going to play out. But like I said, if you want to have the full reaction, make sure to check out the Kayfabe podcast tomorrow because they're going to do a deep dive not only onto this, but also AJ Styles' Hall of Fame induction. So you do not want to miss it. But yeah, JC Jane is still your NXT Women's Champion. And since we were talking about Stand and Deliver, Shawn Michaels put out an announcement earlier today. It's not going to be in Vegas this year. It's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, I can tell the look on your face. It's just like, what? It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Man, it's hey, what makes me sad is in some ways maybe I get it, but then I don't because I'm like I'm trying to hold out to say like, hey, maybe they're doing this because they want their NXT stars healthy because some of them might be participating in WrestleMania and want them focused on that rather than trying to get everything situated during the big show. Maybe something like that is happening, but I'm not sure if that's the case. And with that not being the case, it's like it, like of all things to like not have during WrestleMania weekend. Like, and especially for somebody like myself that's in it that likes NXT, this is one of the few shows that we could go to during WrestleMania weekend. Like the
Mm-hmm.
tickets aren't crazy for NXT. Like I think I paid like $108 and I was sitting on the floor. And I
Mm-hmm.
was there the night Sol Ruka became won the NXT North American Championship in the ladder match. I was there. I was there when Zaruka was helping her to get up the ladder, and so I was there for all of that. And now for you to go, not only is it not the week there, it is on the 4th. So it's like, then what? So it's like, okay, WrestleMania is normally like the season finale
Mm-hmm.
of wrestling, and then you start over. So that means NXT has what, 3 weeks of story to fill before WrestleMania. So it's just like, why separate these? I don't want like, what was the reasoning for separating this from one of your supposedly biggest weekends?
It felt very odd. Shout out to Eric Isaac in the chat. for joining us tonight. It did feel very weird. I mean, I'm trying to understand this from my perspective with promoting because I don't know, maybe some of their stars may get involved in WrestleMania and they don't want too serious of an injury, which I get it, I understand. But also it is WrestleMania weekend where a lot of people do want to see Stand and Deliver. The last couple years, since it was a part of WrestleMania weekend, it did start a draw. Tickets are not too expensive.
Nope.
I wouldn't be surprised if merch wasn't too expensive.
And they be selling out. Like they had to do an extra pop up at the end of the last Stand and Deliver for stuff to be sold, just so they could still use their activations that they had, and then that stuff sold out quickly. People ate that merch up.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I can imagine said right now probably been like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And especially like you said with storytelling in a couple weeks, because it's like, I know you got Vengeance Day happening, but it's like, where do we go from here with Vengeance Day? Like, do we have a clear set with the NXT Men's Championship? Do we know who's going to dethrone JC Jane by that time? And also, where are they going to leave with Ricky? Because if Ricky loses, he's at an interesting crossroads at this point. So it's like, where does he go from here?
It's confusing, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. NXT is we're in rough times and over here at NXT. Just know we're there are those times where we have our glorious moments, like Black and Gold brand, the Silver era when we first started on CW, and there's some times where we're NXT 2.0. Like beginning part, not end part, because it was actually kind of cooking up when Mandy Rose was NXT champion. Man, right now, just if I'm gonna be honest, okay, we NXT don't have no star power no more. Like we lost a lot of our star power. Like it went up. It went up. Now, do we have stars there? Absolutely. But have they tapped into their full potential of like, yo, this is the next one that you gonna see pop up on SmackDown? Thea Hale not ready to leave NXT. Blake Monroe not ready to leave NXT. Jade is not ready to leave NXT. I mean Jada. Fallon, Jace. None of them have gotten close to that threshold or been made into like a full-fledged star, like how we saw with Oba, how we saw with Trick, how we saw with Jordan, how we saw with Stephanie, even with Julia for the short stint that she was there. Like right now, we don't see the people who are supposed to be reining it in. And unfortunately, that makes Joe Hendry suffer, because Joe Hendry thrives off of being able to play off of his rival. And the problem with that is he's already done it at a professional capacity. He's done it in front of tens of thousands of people. The dude did it at fucking WrestleMania. So it's like you got him sitting there because you're just not ready to move him up to the main roster yet. It's like, but who has the charisma to go against him besides Ethan Page? After that, that's it. So it's
only a matter of time when Ethan gets called up. It's just a matter of time.
And who's to say that? Who's to say that don't happen now? Because what Ethan got left to do?
He was NXT champion. He was NXT North American champion.
What you gonna go do? BTNA type? No, it's time for you to go up. It's time for you to go up. Go play with the big boys. If anyone belongs there, it's Ethan. Mm-hmm. But the rest of them, we back in rookie junior varsity mode. That's where we at right now. We in if you watch sports, I shouldn't say that because I don't, but I'm just hopefully I'm saying the right thing, and then Courtney can just tell me if I'm right. But we back into the developmental phase of the team. You know,
you're just in rebuild mode. You're just in a rebuild.
we're rebuilding right now.
Rebuilding.
Yeah. That's no takeaway from anybody that's there. All of them are great, incredible superstars. It's just we rebuilding where we're trying to get to. Like what's the next era? Because we're in a new era.
That needs to be a clip. I'm sorry, that needs to be a clip. A new era.
We're in a new era of wrestling.
I still can't get over that, but NXT, NXT is going to be fine. They're in rebuild mode, and hopefully they will figure it out in the next couple months. And shout out to our producer from the future, Dylan, because we do have to preview another brand. Even though they're not rebuilding, they're kind of getting their footsteps in. AEW Dynamite happening at the top of the hour. Yours truly will be doing a watch along tonight. We are almost in LA for Revolution. We're almost there, but we have a pit stop to make in Denver, Colorado. As we know, we do have MJF versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Title at Revolution. And tonight, they're both gonna decide the stipulation for Revolution, because if you saw last week, Hangman Adam Page put out a Texas death match. MJF is gonna put out his stipulation, so very curious on what stipulation on this match is gonna go. And also, this one has a big match against Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley is going to be taking on the Don Callis family's El Cloyne. He is 4-0 against the Death Riders. So let's see what he can do against Mr. Jon Moxley. We're also going to have, this is like a match of the meat. Brody King taking on another member of the Don Callis family, Mark Davis. I mean, we should call him the Aussie Monster since he's from Australia and he's a big guy that can do unexpected moves. But these two are going to go at it one-on-one, and excited to see. And we're also going to have my main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, taking on Gabe Kidd after he called him out on Collision this past week. He's going to step in the ring with Mr. Orange Cassidy. And, well, Gabe, you're going to get awakening coming from Citrus Boy. And also after the commotion that happened on Collision this past weekend, we're going to have a Mile High Madness. Pretty much anything goes. FTR teaming up with the Demands, Ricochet, and the Gates of Agony. They will be teaming up against Jungle Jack Perry, the Young Bucks, and the Rascals. As I mentioned, after the chaos had happened, there is going to be a lot of mayhem, especially ahead of the AEW World Tag Team titles at Revolution between the Young Bucks and FTR. And I cannot forget the ladies in action. We are going to have the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron taking on Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. And obviously, of course, they have their new addition, Lena Cross, in their corner. And this is for the AEW World Women's Tag Team Championship match. All of this more and happening at the top of the hour tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS and simulcast on Max. And Will, I just want to give it to you. Is there a match or a segment in particular that you're most excited about AEW Dynamite happening tonight?
Probably the last one you showed, Babes of Wrath versus Mega Bad.
The Babes of Wrath?
Yeah, the Babes of Wrath said, what's Megan Bayne? Mega Bad, right?
Yeah, Mega Bad.
I thought it was Mega Bad. Okay. Yeah. I'm interested in seeing that one. I don't know, man. I feel like Mega Bad might get it tonight. They've been fighting for it. Like, it's been going back and forth. So I don't know, man. Like, it's tonight they night. Like, I know they tired of like not coming out successful. They've added to the group. But it's not gonna be easy, man, because Harley and Willow on the same page. So it's gonna be an interesting night. I would hope this closed the show for tonight. Like, but I'm sure the Mile High joint is just, I'm just tired. Like, Courtney, you really said it, and I was just like, why are they back? I'm so tired of this FTR Young Buck shit. Like, all of them in a match and make it for the title. Like, why are we not doing that? Like, let's do tag team turmoil Wednesday and had these. But that's just me. That's just me. Maybe the Raph and Mega Bad. That's what I'm looking forward to.
No, that's just you because, well, I mean, outside the ladies, outside of my guy Orange Cassidy, because he's going to be in action against Gabe Kidd. If you did not know, he wrestled in New Japan. He has ties to New Japan. I mean, if Gabe Kidd thinks he can walk over Orange Cassidy, you got another thing coming. You don't want to mess with a man that, even though he looks like he could be lazy, but he could kick your ass in the ring. I'm just saying, there's a reason why he's a former international champion. Obviously, of course, ladies, very always excited to see them. I would love for them to close out the show. It would be great. I'm also looking forward to seeing Mark Davis in action because he impressed me last week in his match, because there's something that's there with Mark Davis. He definitely had a good showing last week in his singles match, and I feel like there's something in him that he does have potential, especially after his tag team partner Jake Doyle is out with an injury. So I'm really excited to see him go one-on-one with Brody King. And I feel like those guys are definitely going to put on a show. Obviously, of course. I would say the only person in Mile High I'm really excited about is the Rascals. I'm really excited to see the Rascals in the action. I know they have a future #1 contender shot for the AEW World Tag Team titles in the future. I don't know where that's going to go. And I know since Private Party came back like last week, I would kind of like to see Private Party back in the mix, but that's a whole conversation for that and all those. But at the top of the hour, you get to spend it with me because we're going to do a deep dive into the tag team division a bit during my watch along. You don't want to miss it. It's always really fun on AEW Dynamite, but that is your preview for AEW Dynamite happening at the top of the hour, but also not just AEW, but we're talking about their partners. And this actually is big news that happened. Paragon Talent Group announces Slam Fest for April 15th through 18th during WrestleMania week. And it'll feature CMLL, Stardom, MLP, and many other promotions, and also House of Glory. So they announced that earlier today in a press release that it's going to headline a 4-day wrestling and entertainment festival extravaganza. Tickets are going to go on sale Friday, February 27, 2026 at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And pretty much it is a great opportunity that they're going to anchor this. And as I mentioned, the festival will also make history as the first standalone CMLL event ever held outside of Mexico in the promotion's 92-year legacy. And CMLL is the world's oldest active professional wrestling promotion and the global standard bearer of Mexican Lucha Libre, surpassing 1 million tickets sold at Arena Mexico alone in 2015. But there's going to be plenty of promotions, as I mentioned. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, House of Glory, Stardom, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So this is really a great opportunity with that. And I'm very excited. So if you are if you're going to be in Vegas during WrestleMania weekend, it's definitely something to really think about. But Will, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this because this is actually a really good opportunity to see all these other promotions during WrestleMania week and just really like coming out right before the big dance.
I mean, it's a good way to pivot because last year's Palm Slam Fest was incredible. We at WWT got to attend, myself, the mayor, TK was there. But I know there's been a recent development of WWE not allowing people to do watch parties anymore for their events or more, especially going into WrestleMania, which is very, I mean, I guess as again,
we were talking about that on Monday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll also talk about that Thursday. We're gonna talk about that Thursday. But I like this pivot in being on what they're doing with Sam Fest. For those that don't know, like Mojo Rawley is one of the people who are behind this fest, and he does an incredible job of putting this together. Like no BS. Like Like being someone going to the WrestleMania weekend, not really having tickets to the show, not really knowing where you're going to land to be able to watch it, or is it gonna be at a watch along? Is it gonna be at a bar, or are you just gonna go back to your hotel room and enjoy the show? Mojo and them and the Palms Casino provided such an incredible space for us wrestling fans to be able to enjoy the show. Like that's where I got to like be next to Ric Flair when John Cena broke his record. So shout out to Mojo Riley and Palm Slam Fest for like being able to provide those type of memories. So for them to pivot like this, having CMLL included and so many other superstars, hopefully AJ Francis there is back because he was the host and he did an amazing job keeping all the vibes, parties going and stuff. So I just hope for them to have a even more successful Slam Fest this year. Might not be in attendance for this one, but might be watching WrestleMania from the comfort of California. But to those that will be attending, I don't think you will be disappointed.
I don't think you are. And like I said, McFoley's going to present his acclaimed comedy that's going to be there. Saraya is going to do a live podcast episode. And also Matt Hardy is going to be doing a live episode podcast at the show as well, along with Jeff Hardy performing afterwards. But also it's going to feature appearance not just by the Hardys, McFoley and Saraya. It's going to feature the Hurt Syndicate, Ash by Elegance, Elena Black, as you mentioned, Mojo Riley, but so many people are going to be there. And if you are there during WrestleMania week, definitely take the time to attend the event. You will not be disappointed, and it's going to be a fun time.
Also, they got a great buffet at that casino. Just letting y'all know. Letting y'all know. Prime rib out the roof, baby.
Well, just we do have two quick stories before we get out of here. But formerly known as Sarah Logan, she known as Valhalla, she announced on the news today that she is transitioning from wrestling to focus on farming and motherhood. As we know, last year, she took to Instagram that WWE did not renew her contract, and she has been off television since 2024. But speaking on wise decisions, she confirmed her transition out of the wrestling business. She goes on to say when COVID happened, they let go of 150 wrestlers, and I was one of those wrestlers that got let go. My husband was still hired. I got let go. We were like, let's have a baby. I always wanted to grow my own food. She said, noting she comes from a family of farmers. The day I got fired, I started looking into starting a farm. I got fired, had a baby, got rehired. Then I just left the company permanently. My contract expired and I'm not renewing it. At first, I'm like, maybe I don't want to come back to wrestling. Maybe I just want to start a homestead and a farmer and a mother. Once that happened, my body wasn't used to that piece. I was scared of it. It was scary to put my worth instead, something that was not so much bigger than me, but was me. It was a hard transition, but so needed.
Seems we are back.
And Will, just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this, because I know we did talk about this last year when they did the whole mass layoffs. And Sarah Logan, formerly known as Sarah Logan, and now Valhalla, she was one of the people that got released, and she's making the transition to motherhood.
I mean, look the way she dressed. This ain't none of this surprising. Okay, that is surprising. You gonna be a farmer, grow crops? Like, yeah, you dress like that's what you about to go do. So none of this is surprising. But it's one of those things that just like reminds you that there's so many different variations of what this company can do to somebody's life. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like one of those like, yo, like sometimes you have people where this is not the rest of their lives, that they're not the Undertaker. Like Sarah Logan, no matter what anyone says, this woman was a part of the WWE. She can be in video packages. She can say that she's done this. Her husband does this. And so for you to be able to be blessed enough to say like, hey man, I can go become a farmer. I'm going to start a new chapter in my life, not only of being a mother, but like going to learn how to farm, going to learn how to grow my own crops, something I want to do. Like that's incredible. That is an incredible feat. And I think people like it's always just refreshing to hear these type of stories of like, hey, you know what? I like when you hear these of like I've did my thing, I've seen where it comes to an end. I get to go out on my terms. Like, hey, I don't want to renew. I like to go do something else. And I just think that's always dope to see. And so you're not risking the, like risking the chance of being known for just that. Be like, yo, like man, like Undertaker telling me to call him Mark. Be like, oh, bro, you don't take like that's it. That's D Row. Like I hear you, but be like you take her. Be like take her. You trying to go to Whole Foods? You trying to go? I told you to call.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. So take her. You come and get the sandwich from Whole Foods with me. It's yeah. But shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. I'm glad you get to go do something you like to do. And I always think if you can go do that, man, hey, bravo to you.
It's always nice. And I think that's one of the things that all the narcs on social don't get. Wrestlers are humans too. They
Mm-hmm.
also have lives outside of the ring and interests that they like to do. And also, I heard of Sarah Logan going back to the Riot Squad days. Her, Ruby Wyatt, Liv Morgan, all three of them, and also with the fact too, just having that transition because sometimes things don't go out of your way and circumstances happen, but she made it work. And also with the fact too, she wanted to be a mother, she wanted to do a farm, and I give kudos to her. But it's just one of those things where it's very hard, where not everybody could be like, as Will said, not the Undertaker. Ooh, excuse me, or John Cena. John Cena's been around for since '02, not like John did, but she really did have an impeccable career. She did leave some memorable moments to share, some that I will never forget. But do
Right.
definitely want to wish Sarah Logan easy retirement on being a mom, doing farm work, and doing what she loves to do, and just letting her body be at peace.
Yep. KX more for that, man.
You can't. And this is our final story, and I think you'll get a kick this because our CEO Mercedes Moné, she's been all over. You know, she's getting ready for some matches in March. She did do not a collaboration, but I saw the video that her and Mina did with Nick Cannon a couple weeks ago. So it's posted on YouTube right now. But yeah, Mercedes Moné, she's just living the life, and she announces Monet wear featuring authentic pieces from her wardrobe. She actually announced this on her website, and this is from her magazine. And she kind of said she's opening her vault, and she has a limited edition archive collection featuring authentic pieces from my wardrobe, from ring gear to accessories that was worn throughout more than 15 years of her defining and most memorable moments, each delivered as a collectible with a note from your favorite CEO. And also, just a quick reminder, it is going live this week on her website, but she did want to take a reflection filled with gratitude, and she pretty much kept everything: merch, TV shirts, signature jewelry, every wig that she's worn from her beginning up until now, shoes that carried me from the locker room to main event. But these aren't just clothes, they're fragments of her journey. Each one holds passion, sacrifice, and growth stitched into it, and she is ready to share some of that history with you. Just wanted to get your quick thoughts, Will.
She finna be rich. That woman is a genius, man. Just like, yo, you know how many people are gonna be like, cause we live in that age of like exclusivity. So like being able to give that stuff to like for sale. That's why she the CEO. That's why stuff like that. I mean, like, hey, y'all, you can debate all y'all want. When you the goat, you the goat. And the goat just showed us again why she do what she do.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, she's doing amazing things. She's getting ready for some matches in March. She'll be defending her CML CMLL Women's World Title, depending on who's the winner between Persephone and Olympia, which that'll be happening soon. But hey, listen, she's sharing a part of her life and all of her memorabilia with fans. So hopefully it takes a piece of her with it. And I'm sure if Zed's watching, I'm sure he would love nothing more of one of her pieces of memorabilia. But hey,
I'm sure he's already put in reserve which piece of memorabilia he'll be taking for himself. I am thoroughly convinced that he is taking the time out to make sure he gets his piece of the pie.
I'm pretty sure he is, but there's nothing more to carry anything wrestling memorabilia. Just don't give it to any weirdo fans. But I think she can handle because she's the highest paid woman in wrestling. So,
hey man, listen, we can't stop who gonna buy the stuff. All we can hope is the more positive weighs out the people being not positive.
Yeah,
that's all we can hope for. And I think it's cool. But I think again, there's a big group of people who love doing things like that, who love collecting things like that. Mm-hmm. And why not be able to solidify that and spread that out in history for you to be able to have like there's and again too, like we know like that's something she was a part of. Mm-hmm. Like her, Bailey, and a few other ones, like they have memorabilia that they got from past people that they looked up to. So it's like you never know who is buying this, and they got this, and they become the next Mercedes Moné, or they become the next Charlotte, or they become the next Becky, or they become the next AJ because of this woman they look up to, and the fact that they were able to now carry a piece of her around. Man, shout out to Mercedes Moné, being a woman of the people. If there's anybody who would become the new people's champ, it would be Mercedes Moné.
I'm just surprised she didn't keep the wigs. I thought at least she would keep the wigs.
Well, you know how much them wigs gonna go for though.
I know.
Them wigs go. She gonna eat off them wigs.
Especially well, she put on some nice wigs. I will say that she's had some nice wigs since she came in.
Them wigs was elite. Sometimes she ain't had a person put them in right though. I will say that. Like, ma'am, you could have sewn that in to her way better. This ain't the CEO's fault. Like, lady, come on now. All right.
Just be nice on the wigs.
Man, but them wigs, she gonna make some money off of that.
Oh,
like that.
Especially from hairdressers too. If they want to look for wigs.
Yep. A trend gonna start with that. Somebody gonna be wearing her wig, doing that little bop thing. That stuff. When you get your favorite wrestler's wig and you just shaking it.
Yes. But that actually wraps up WWT Live Wednesday edition. But Will, is there anything? I know like you guys are going to talk a lot of stories that we talked about on Kayfabe tomorrow, but is there anything that I missed? Or like Cody Rhodes, is there anything you want to talk about?
No, not necessarily. You hit all the key points we need for today. No, like I said, we're in an interesting time when it comes with wrestling. Like we're in a flux, and I don't think we talk about that enough, but I feel like we're in a flux of things changing. And I don't mean even from like the wrestling people's side, but like the people of wrestling. Like I saw Flobo have like a good point about WrestleMania not being as big as it is anymore. Like with SummerSlam being 2 nights and Royal Rumble being this now, they're kind of just like regular PLEs.
It's crazy. Boss Lady, we'll talk about this on Monday because this 50-mile radius they did for WrestleMania, they're extending it to Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, see. So.
And don't be shocked if they try to do it with all the other PLEs for Backlash.
Oh no, they doing it. What I'm saying. Well, you don't have ESPN yourself, you can't watch it. That's why you need the Nord VPN. That's why. Don't get the SPN, get the VPN in your life. is what you need to be doing. Why? Because then you ain't got to worry about someone who's like myself as to why I had to get it. Not because I'm cheap, even though I am. I can't get it because my current Disney plan, me being the great son that I am, I've given an extra member to my mom, so she don't have to worry about logging in every time or anything like that. She could just go. Her household is to herself. Unfortunately, ESPN add-on gets rid of that feature. And so she won't have it anymore. So I actually can't get ESPN. Otherwise, my mama can't watch Disney Plus. And then what kind of son am I kicking my mama out of her Disney Plus so she can't watch her TV shows? And it then got combined with Hulu. So Law and Order and all that stuff on there. What kind of fucked up son would I be doing that? But thanks to the folks at WWT, TK Trinidad, they introduced us to the NordVPN. I know some of y'all. What is a VPN? I don't know any of this. And I'm glad you asked, because I don't know either. But what I can tell you is it is very simple for you to use. You go to NordVPN and you hit which subscription you like to get. Me, I tell you, get the basic one. You want to know why? Because if you use the promo code WWT, you hear the sounds coming up. That's somebody just getting NordVPN, but make sure you use that promo code WWT because you get 75% off. Okay, it is like going to one of them furniture stores that's doing a liquidation sale. Everything must go. It is that type of discount. But what it does is it unlocks you to the world. So if you don't want to use the network for America, let's say you want to go to Canada and you want to find out what does Canada's Netflix have. You're already paying for it. You're just using it in another country. Not cheating the system, not doing anything else. You're just deciding like, hey, when they ask you, do you want Spanish or English? I want Canada. Go to Canada, and then you are now using Netflix's Canadian network, which has a wide range of content to select from, even from stuff from WWE that is currently going on. Just saying. Just throwing that out there for y'all. Get the NordVPN. You don't have to worry about kicking family members out your streaming packages. You don't have to worry about adding on a whole sports app and you don't watch sports, because I'm not finna watch nothing after that go off. I'm gonna fuck about 30 for 30 or how many field goals that LeBron James puts up every night. I don't care about that. That's not me. So NordVPN, promo code WWT, very easy. 2 W's, 1 T, 75% off. If you telling me a VPN ain't worth $2 a month for where you can enjoy all the content you want to enjoy, then you think black people are apes. I said it. I'm Black History Month. That's it.
Well, to be fair, 30 for 30 has highlighted some wrestlers. Just to be fair.
I don't care. I don't care. You know sports make me itch. I break out in hives every time y'all start talking about football.
But you talk about the Jaguars.
They sorry. We know they're not gonna win. So that's more like don't nobody believe in the next 10 years Jaguars Super Bowl.
Oh Lord.
Nah. They just that's it. That's it.
Well, I don't know if that'll happen soon. You have to talk to Tony Khan about that. But you have to talk to Tony. But well,
I don't have to because it's not going to happen. We know it's that.
Just tell him during the press conference saying the Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl. Just say it at the media scrum at Revolution.
Been a fan of the team for over 30 years now. That team ain't going nowhere. That team is going right where it's at.
Wow. Well, anywho, I mean, we got other gears to go at, but where can the people find you?
Man, just find me at Will PHARAOH, PHARAOH. Also at Arcade Tokens. Your support is always helpful. and a follow, a like, a share, a comment. Don't doom scroll the content. Participate. If you see my page and you find it entertaining, hit that like, hit the save, share it with somebody. Be like, man, this was fun. You should listen to it. That's it for me.
There it is. Well, people can find me top of the hour for AEW Dynamite happening because a lot of chaos, a lot of mayhem happening from Denver, Colorado. So you can hang out with me for 2 hours. You can also check out my socials on at CourtneyNJ11 because I do have some stuff happening, not just with wrestling, but with pageantry, pretty much anything that's happening in the world. I'm doing whatever. So feel free to follow me on that. Make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling. Shout out to Tommy Fiera and the rest of the team. They are killing it because they have shows throughout New Jersey happening this weekend and in March. March 13th, if you don't have any plans, Kurt Angle will be in town in Hackettstown, New Jersey. So if you want to see everyone's favorite Olympic gold medalist, make sure to check out Kurt Angle. Obviously, of course, we have 80s Wrestling Con happening in May. I may pull up to that because there's a lot of people on there that I want to see. Wendy Richter is going to be there along with many others. So you do not want to miss out on that. Also, definitely want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Eric Isaac, our producer from the future, Dylan, Gerard Simpson for joining in, hopping in with us on this busy Wednesday. Just a reminder, hopefully Friday, you will hear from the team when they give their bold predictions for Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure if I'll be on Friday because New Japan's going to be in town on Friday in New Jersey. So I may have to pull up to New Japan and see what they have to say because there's so many people that are going to be there, especially from AEW. We're going to see the Forever Ring of Honor champion Athena be there, Konosuke Takeshita, along with many others that are beyond that card. So you do not want to miss that. And just want to give a shout out to everybody for supporting us. Please make sure to support the Women's Wrestling Archive. Doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $3, or even $20 to support the history of women's wrestling. Because even though Black History Month is coming to a close, we have Women's History Month happening next month. So this is a really great opportunity to support everything, supporting the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling and continuing that alive. And shout out to everybody in our team at WWT. And thank you all for joining the Wednesday edition of Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. And we will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.